One way is, we've got millions of bits of information coming at us all the time, all at once. And our brains are amazing machines, and they take it all in and they store it all. And you're not consciously aware of that, but if you knew, your brain could recall what day of the week was March 9th, 1990, and what you had for dinner that night. It's all in there. It's all stored in there. And it's actually an interesting disorder. And do you guys remember the actress Mary Lou Henner from Taxi? Mm-hmm. She has that. There's only 20 people in the world that have that disorder. It's called HSAM, or hyperthymesia. And those people can go back and recall all these events. That's why we know for sure that it's all in there, because I've actually met her, I've asked her, I said, so what day of the week was? July 3rd, 1985. And she'll go, that was a Tuesday. And I remember because I was wearing a dress that day and everybody was complimenting. I mean, she actually can recall all that information. It's all in there. But if we took all that information, if it would come at us all at once, we wouldn't be able to function. And so our brain takes the information and filters it out and makes it into bite-sized pieces. That's really necessary. There's a disease called schizophrenia where people don't have those filters, and it comes at them all at once, and they're just bombarded by information, and they can't function unless they're on medication. It's a cruel disease. So we have these filters that are giving us the information that they think is necessary so that we can function. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. Your brain is giving you the information that it thinks it's necessary. In other words, it's making a decision on what you should know and what you shouldn't know. That's kind of a scary thought, isn't it? I mean, if a government did that and told you what you should and shouldn't know, it's called a totalitarian government, and we wouldn't like it. We fight wars for the freedom to think how we want to think. And here, this organ in our brain is making decisions for us, what we should know and what we shouldn't know. And the scary thing is that actually the information that it thinks you shouldn't have, you're completely unaware of it. It will not give it to you. You will be completely unaware. You will not even know that it exists. So that's kind of a really scary thought. So we really it behooves us to take a look at how those filters come to be. And folks, the news is not that good. The filters are born from our experiences. So here, I'm going to turn to the book for the first time. The sound of the door slamming wakes me up. I can feel the tension in the house. I don't like it. It scares me. I start to cry. I need my mama. She's not coming. When my mama finally comes and picks me up, I'm hysterical. I throw my arms around her neck in desperation. You're choking me, Mama says, and I can hear the impatience in her voice. She tries to unravel my arms from her throat. She walks me around the room, rocking me hard. It doesn't feel soothing. I can tell that her mind is elsewhere. Shh, shh, come on now, stop crying, be quiet. I know she can't wait to put me back down into my crib and leave me alone again. I cling to her even harder. What kind of a situation do you think, what kind of filters do you think you will build when you have that kind of information? That's the experience. You'll feel that you're not worthwhile. You'll feel abandoned. But it's not even just situations like that. There's other messages that you get. Children are to be seen, not heard. Don't make waves. Don't quit being selfish. Put other people before you. Those are all messages that we get that kind of put us on a different path. And every experience forms a neural pathway, and every neural pathway becomes a criterion by which information comes at us. And then if we hear information that says, you're magnificent, you're here to give your gift to the world, we can't even hear it. And if we do hear it, it's meaningless. Because that's kind of where we are most of the time, isn't it? Somebody tells you you're magnificent, and we go, meh. So that's one way that the brain lies to us and puts us in a completely different way. There's also another one, and there's a part of the brain that's called the amygdala. Because have you ever noticed that we always tend to gravitate towards the negative? Isn't that true for all of us? It's like if there's an accident on the freeway, we all gotta slow down and rubberneck. Or the news, for that matter. You know, we want to see the news always, even though we know there's nothing but blood and guts and all that kind of stuff. We still want to see it though. So the amygdala is actually it's a part in the brain. It's a very old part in the brain. It's in the reptilian brain. It's the part where fight or flight originates, and its job is to scan your world around you, looking for potential sources of danger. It doesn't need to scan where there's cotton candy and puppy dog tails. There's a little danger coming from it. So it has a big part of your brain that is forever scanning where it's negative. So we're forced to go on that one. There's a motto that the news have: if it bleeds, it leads. Sounds pretty brutal, doesn't it? But that's the news channels are can't think of the word. They're competing for your amygdala's attention, and so they're always giving you the negative stuff. And so here's one thing that we focus in on. So there's another way that we're kind of compelled to go towards the negative.